Hello everyone, welcome back. Here is another review. I know it's been a while, but here we are. And I've finally been able to go and see another film. And that film has been a film I've been anticipating for quite a while. Actually, since I first saw this trailer, I've been kind of looking forward to seeing this film because it looked like it might have a chance at being pretty good. But of course, with all the awards buzz, it's been nominated for multiple Oscars, Best Picture as like a major one. It's won so many awards already, and it looks like it's a great film and everyone's talking about it. So I went to go see Three Billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. I've finally been able to see it. I know it's been out for quite a while. Everyone's done the reviews on this already, but now that I've been able to see it, what are my thoughts on the film? Before I get into that, let me just give you a premise in case you haven't heard this film and you've been living under a rock or you aren't really that much into movies in general and all. So let's get right into it. So, Three Billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. That's a mouthful. Anyways, it's about when this girl has been raped and killed and months have passed with like no arrest and no seems like there's not really anything being done about this poor girl's brutal murder and rape. So the mom decides to take matters into her own hands because she's grieving, obviously, the loss of her child. So she rents out these 3 billboards and basically calls out the police in town saying like, why is there no arrest? Why does it look like there's nothing being done? And it's basically about that, and then how the townspeople react to that, and just it's basically a rabbit hole of that kind of scenarios. So this was quite the film to watch. Now when going to see it, I was really hoping. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like that's what I usually like to do. Like I don't want to not give my honest opinion. I want to just be upfront with you and tell you how I honestly felt. But when looking at how this film looked, it made me worry how it would portray like police officers. Now, I love the police. They've been real important with me and my family, and I know lots of policemen. So I was worried that it would portray them in a negative way. Now, there's 2 ways you can look at this film. You can look at it as an unrealistic look on how it's just this fictionalized town, and this is completely overdramatic versions of stereotypes of people. Or you could be looking at it as this is how society really is. This is what's really happening right now. And if I look at it with the latter, to me, it makes me really despise the film because of how they portray police and how they're all incompetent idiots, how most of them are racist, how they're very careless with their jobs. And if that's what these people that made this film really think policemen are, that makes me feel very disgusted with how they portray them. But if you look at it from the other way, which is how I'm going to look at it, because I don't want to think that that's really what people in Hollywood think of true policemen. That breaks my heart if that's really what they think. So I'm just going to go if this is just a fictionalized story and they aren't thinking that that's how every policeman is. So I'm going to look at it from those viewpoints. So if I look at it from that viewpoint, a film we got here is there are some good moments in this film. Some of the performances are pretty good, but overall it's a pretty messy film. It really is. Now let me start with the positives first. Frances McDormand as the mom I thought was excellent. And I've been seeing like lots of nominations that she's getting, and I'm like, is she really one of those like actresses? Like, does she really deserve all this attention and all? But I'm not gonna joke. She did a fantastic job. She was by far the MVP with the performances in the movie. But for the best supporting actors, I gotta say there was nothing. I was really interested with, like, I didn't want to film the review right away because I saw it yesterday, but I wanted to sleep on it and think about it. Because with Sam Rockwell's character, I mean, he starts off as this horrible, like, evil kind of person, like a racist and all, and very violent, but like you see the journey he goes through, and it's kind of very interesting. It doesn't really follow a same kind of way, and it was kind of fascinating. So there's some moments like that where some characters, like some stuff happens in the film where it goes in a pretty unexpected way. And with his character, I didn't really like how it was portraying it at first, but when you actually watch the film throughout, I actually kind of enjoyed it for what it was. It was pretty interesting character progression. I mean, granted, a lot of it was done lazily, and there wasn't really that much meat to it. But I like the effort, at least, for trying something new. And speaking of which, with no meat, the film is very short. Like, very short. Like, it's only an hour and 55 minutes only. But it's like you're watching the film and they throw so much, like so many big moments at you, and you're just seeing it all happen. You're like, why am I watching this? There's no resolution. Like, for the story, I don't want to spoil anything. It just felt like you wasted your time watching this film. Like, it's like they filmed this with a message that they want to give to the audience that was very lazily done, slopped onto the screen. You're just watching a bunch of stuff happen for no real reason, and it just kind of ends. And speaking of which, the ending, it ends very ambiguous, and I mean, I know that was the intention, and I really hate endings like that, but sometimes they can be done very well. But how the ending was done here, I honestly felt like I wasted my time watching this movie. If a movie does that, you know that's not a good sign. Speaking, I almost forgot one of the main trio, Woody Harrelson. I mean, everyone's like, he was terrific. He did a great job. He was barely in the film, like 10 minutes. And he was just Woody Harrelson. He didn't really do anything special, if I'm honest with you. He was just there. There were some moments with his character that surprised me that I was not expecting. And there was, like, how the final part of him in the film that he was in was very, like, wow, it really got me. And I thought that was very good. But the other parts, he was just Woody Harrelson. Nothing really stood out for me. These people, it's supposed to, like, I think what they were going for is they were trying to portray how actual people are in real life, when really this is the most overdrawn stereotypes that I've seen in quite a while. And lots of the dialogue was just bad. It was poorly written. Whoever did the dialogue for this film did a crappy job, if I'm honest with you. Because lots of stuff that people say in this film, I've never heard anyone say. Like, it's so unrealistic. And what's funny is it takes itself very seriously. It's gritty, it's brought down. It's like, it makes you think that this is how actual people act. I mean, maybe it's just maybe because I'm sheltered or something, but I've never seen people act like this. And it's very overdramatic and very goofy at times. Like, I just couldn't take it seriously. Whenever they would say stuff like that, I'd be like, oh my goodness, am I seriously wasting my time with this movie? Just lots of moments like that just got me pretty annoyed. It seems like I'm hating on this film a lot more than I should, because there's some really great moments in it too. Some of the songs, how they're incorporated, I thought was very nicely done. Like, some of these songs I actually really like, and they actually fit very well with the story. So the incorporation of songs was very good. And another thing that really surprised me was the score. Like, I saw it was getting nominations for Best Score, and I was like, okay, they're just giving it to it because it's one of those Oscar films, so you just gotta give it every category. But no, it earns it. Like, it's one of my favorite scores. I mean, if it was last year, it would be easily in the top 4 or 5. Like, it's really good score. I love the music in this movie so much. It was really effective, really emotional. If it wasn't for the bad dialogue and some of the just bland acting, and with what the film is trying to put across, if it wasn't for some of that, it would really be hooking me in, because I was like, wow. And it's not like the entire film is bad. There's actually some moments where it's actually pretty well done, but it's just with all the other stuff I've mentioned, it's just a pretty bland experience. And I think it's because of how it's playing to this narrative that a lot of these voters, like in these award nominations and all, that's why they're loving the film so much, because it's fitting their narrative and they're going with it. And I mean, this has nothing to do with politics or anything. It's just personally how I feel with, like, the police know. And I don't think it was their intention to really treat them like that. And they were just trying to make, like, a film about a woman's, like, looking for justice for her kid's murder. And it was just, like, an original thing. And this came unintentionally. But there's been lots of comparisons on this is how they actually are. And it's kind of sad to see, because not every policeman is like this. They're really not. And with the way people are acting like it, they're like, this film is breaking down barriers to show the true side of police and all. It just made me really sick to my stomach, if I'm honest. But that shouldn't be a downgrade on the film. That's just how some people took the film. If that's how you thought of the film, then okay. But I don't think that was their intention. At least I hope it wasn't. But I'm starting to ramble on a little bit about that. Sorry about that. It's just I'm giving you how I honestly feel. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's just how I felt when watching the film. It really put a sour taste in my mouth. So with all of those thoughts, and also there's There's a couple more characters that are kind of there, and they're like big names. Like Peter Dinklage is in there, and he's just there for no reason, really. He has like 4 scenes tops that I can think of, so he was really unnecessary. They just a big name to get in there. You have some more stereotypes. Like, it's just a bunch of stereotypes, really. There's nothing really original about this film. It's just a bunch of stereotypes with bland dialogue. Actually, pretty bad dialogue. I'm just gonna say it's garbage dialogue. With excellent music, very excellent score. It's a beautifully set film, and there's some really good moments that I enjoyed in the film, and I was really fascinated with the Dixon character and his arc. But with that ending, it really just kind of got on my nerves. And with Frances McDormand, I gotta say, she was the gold star here. She was the best part of this movie. Like, she was really effective. She's just how she plays the character was just really fascinating and very interesting with all the other flaws around it. So those are my thoughts on the 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. And with all those, I think it's pretty obvious that I do not think this was one of the 9 best films, and I think it's ridiculous that it's nominated for all these awards. But those are my thoughts on the film, and with all my thoughts, you may be thinking, oh, he hates this film. But to be honest, it's a very well made film, very good music, very good score, some good acting around the board, beautifully cinematography, and some really good moments and some good character development for some of the characters. Overall, I think the film was pretty decent, but it's nowhere near being as good as they say it. So, with all that said, I'm going to give 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri a 6 out of 10. It's above average for me. I wouldn't say it's something special. I wouldn't say it's anything brilliant. I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece like everyone has been saying. So, those are my thoughts on 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. I'm probably going to get some flack for some of the stuff I said, but hey, that's my honest opinion. I gave it to you guys. Now, please let me, I want to know yours. Like, if you watch it and you're like, oh man, you didn't like it, just comment with me. I would like to chat with anyone that liked the film, and I would like to have a discussion with you guys. That'd be real cool. So if you want to leave your thoughts down below, that'd be awesome. Thank you guys for watching, and my next review should probably be Black Panther. I can't wait. It's the next Marvel film. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this, and I'll see you later. Bye.